Have something like this on your taskbar or somewhere. I saved it here. If you don't have it here, you can bring it down here or bring it to your desktop. I have it on desktop, I have it here. Easy to start. So start Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So this is a client program. Right? So if someone asks you what database do you use, don't say Management Studio. That's not database. That's just a client. It's a tool. Right? The database is SQL Server.
It's client.
Client, like client or connection tool or right. The database name is Microsoft SQL Server 2012. That's the database name.
So you're telling what Windows you use. I use the XP or Windows 10.
Yeah.
In other words, saying
so
that, right?
something like that, right? So this is the client tool that lets you connect to the database. Right? The actual database name is Microsoft SQL Server 2012. The client tool that you are using to connect to the database is this thing, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Lets you manage the database basically. Lets you manage the connection, lets you manage the object, lets you manage tables, rows, things like that. It's a management tool or connection tool or a client tool. So once you open this, you just connect. If you have everything set up like this, that's good. If you don't have them, let me know, I can help you. You can just connect. It brings up something like this. Now you're connected. Just connected. Okay, so you want to query something. You open new query window. Okay. So query means you have a database already. Right, and you want to get some information from the database. So in our case, we have a database called, the one that we just installed, it's called sales. So we want to get something from sales database. So in your query window here, you will see something, a drop down menu here. It's called, it said master right now. Okay. So when you have it master, that means anything I write here, if I say select star from product. So this is a simple query. It is supposed to give me all the data from this table. Okay. If I leave it at master here and do this query and say execute, it gives me an error. So invalid object name product. The reason for that error is this table is not part of this database. Okay. This is part of our sales database that we just created. So what I need to do is I need to come here, right, change it to sales, like this. Okay. You can see the error went away, the red squiggly mark went away quickly. Then execute. If I go back to master, you'll see the red squiggly mark here, right there. Sometimes you'll notice that this already means and there's some kind of something is wrong in the query. Gives you a hint, right? If I change it to sales, it goes away. Now if I execute, this error will go away, I'll get some result back. Okay, there you go, I get some result back. So the objective of this showing you this is that always when you do new query, right, always make sure that your database is sales. If you have something else, if you have MSDB or anything, and if I could do a query from the class, it will fail. Okay. Always make sure that your query window, when you open query window, database is sales. If you go to interview and they say, what tools do you use? You say, I use SQL Server Management Studio. And if they ask you, how do you change databases? You can tell them there's a drop down list that shows all the database and you can select which one to use. For our case, we are using sales, right? So normally what I do is that I already have a So I already have the query, all the queries that I do for this class. Right? It takes me about 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe to finish them. So I'll share this at the end of the class, meaning like in 2, 3 weeks, not right now. If I share right now, they will just play with this one and not listen to the class and not do the exercise. So what is that? I'll go over these queries one by one, and goal is for you to practice. You to try type the query, make error, correct them, see the result. Right?
How many are they in count? Just wondering.
Huh?
How many are they in count? How many queries are there?
Not much.
That you use
Just like
use things.
like 761 lines, 765 lines. Right? There's yeah. I don't know, maybe 50 queries or something
Okay.
like this. But we can. What I do is that I have a query template, but we change it. I change it like and give it something different name or make it a bit different so that you practice it. So that's what makes it different. That you trying it out on your own, checking the queries, actual queries, seeing the result, executing it, seeing the result. If there's error, you go fix it. You see the result again. And you'll get this at the end of the class, end of this module. Okay, so the very first query, right? Goal is to get the data. Query means you're getting the data from a table. Right? So table resides in a database. Database resides in a server. Right? So first thing is to find the server and connect to it. We already did that. When you made a connection, actually what you are doing is that you are finding the server and making a connection to the database. We already did that part. Right? Then next part is okay. I'm connected to the server. I have to find my databases. So select the database, the one that you want to query. We have sales database. Now next part is which table from the database. So depending on which table you want to query, right, we write query or write our statement against that table. So in our case, we have tables that we have are under sales. We have tables. If you look at inside tables, you will see I have costs, I have manufacturers, products, and a sample table. Okay. This is what we have right now. I might change it later, but this is what we have right now. These are the three main tables: cost, manufacturers, and products. Okay. So when you join a project, right, real project, you will have many tables like this. Along with that, they will tell you what those tables are for, what do they save, right? How are they related? You can find those in a diagram. So I don't have a diagram right now. I'll create one diagram and show you how they're related. These three tables are related. These are the four tables I have, so I'll select all four of them. And if you want to do it yourself, you can do it. I'll show you how to do it. So I'll start over. You can do it yourself. Here, if you go all the way up to here, right? Database diagram. Right click on it. Select new database diagram. And what we're doing is that under here, under sales, your database diagram. Right click on it. Highlight. Right click. Then you want to say new database diagram. It brings you this prompt, Windows prompt. You select all four of them. Use the shift down, arrow down. You select all of them.
Can you repeat it again, please?
Which one?
How to go to like a diagram?
Right. So from this window, right?
Yeah.
You have database diagram.
Yeah.
Highlight it. Highlighted.
Okay.
Right click.
Okay.
Click on new database diagram.
Okay. No, right click. And
Yeah, I did.
Hello, small.
new
Hello?
database diagram. It
Hello?
comes here. Okay.
Hello?
Right click.
Join.
New
BGS
database
training go.
diagram.
Yeah, it's
Here, yes.
Training go to BGS.
मैंने किया था
Yeah, here, yes.
I'm training go here. I'm too busy. Okay, so hello, hello. I'm Gucci. I'm rotating government. Okay, so once you are here, you want to select all the tables that you can see. The way to do it is shift, select the first one, and shift, hold the shift key, arrow down,
Shift or hold.
and arrow down
And,
until you get all of them. Then
And
click
then
on add
okay.
and click on close. Now you can see I have sample here. I can move it around to make it look nice. Sample here, products here, cost here, and one all the way down. Bring it up. And then we can move it up. Cost and pictures. I'll bring this here. I'll bring this here. Bring it down. Here. Bring it down here. So this is the diagram. And once you have it like this, you can save it. Just save like that. Click on this save. You give a name. Select say yes, and you save it. Okay. So in your real project, you will see something like this. Only have 4 tables, but you might have 20, 30, 50, 100 tables. Right? They will print. Sometimes they will print a big copy of it on the wall. Put it on the wall. You can see it. So this tells you. So this tells you have how many tables, their names. There are column names. These are the columns. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. It has 3, it has 4, it has 3. Normally tables have minimum they will have 4 or 5 columns. Might be 20, 30 columns. Right. These are the column names. They have the cost. These are the cost column names. The manufacturer column name. Column names for sample table. So knowing the column names is important because when you do a query, you have to write these column names. You have to spell them exactly as they are on this database. If you spell it differently, you will not get the data. So having a diagram or something to look at while you write the queries makes it easy to write the query. Don't make mistake. Also tells you the name of the table. You spell exactly like it is. If you spell it differently, it will tell you that I cannot find this column or table. Also it tells you how they're related. Sample table by itself, there's nothing connecting to it, right? So it's not related to anything. That's by itself. This table is connected twice. Once here to cost, once here to manufacturer. So I can say that you can see that this is related to both of these tables, right? Products is related to costs and products is also related to manufacturers. What this saying is that a product has a cost with it, right? How much is selling, how much you have to buy it for, right? It's also telling, and this one is telling you that this came from this manufacturer basically. This product came from this manufacturer. Same thing here, it tells you that this manufacturer has some products in the products database. Going this way, it tells you that this cost has a product with it. So look at cost table. So if you look at products table, it has product ID. You see a key next to it. This means a primary key. Most of the diagrams will have something like key or some symbol that says this is a primary key. It might have PK next to it, meaning primary key. So reading the diagram, you can tell which one is a primary key, which one is a foreign key, things like that. This is primary key. This is the primary key. This is the code. This is the product name, quantity, price, description, manufacturer ID. So manufacturer ID. So here, if you look at this this line, this is the relationship line. Right? This is the way this table is related to this table. Clicking on this, or if you hover over it, tells you that relationship, foreign key, product, manufacturer, something. Right? basically what it's telling you is that this relationship between this table and this table is between this column and this column. So here, the primary key in this table is manufacturer ID. I say key next to is primary key here. So this was copied or brought down here to make this foreign key here. This is primary key here in this table. It's next to it, key next to it, and here this is the same column. So this was. It's not part of this table, but this is showing here as a foreign key. You see in the table, but it's not actually part of this table. It's a foreign key to this table. It came from here just to make this relationship work. Okay. In the diagram, you see that it's here. It looks like it's part of this table, but actually this came from here, this table, right? This manufacturer ID, it came here to make this relationship work. Make sense?
So you know it's a foreign key just because it's over there with the key?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Here, this is the primary key here, right? There's
Yeah.
key next to it.
Yeah.
And it's the same column name. Same thing here, right? You see again that this came from here as a foreign key. If you want to look into more details, this line, if you click on it, properties, it tells you more about it. But you don't have to do that. You have to go into these details. Similar things here. This line tells you that this product primary key here. I see a product ID here, same thing. Product ID primary key in this table. It's the same column name here. So this is a foreign key, came from this table to this table. Make sense? So looking at the diagram, you can learn more about it. You can figure out how they're related. Which one is the primary key, which one is the foreign key. Their names of the columns next to the table, things like that.
One question.
Yes.
Is in products, if we do not put manufacturer ID, we can put the product ID in manufacturer also, it will be the same thing?
It will be more complicated, so you're not the same thing here. So I'll show you why. What he's saying is that instead of this here, why don't you put this one here? Make the relationship work, right? Okay, let's see if it works or not. And you'll see why it doesn't work. Maybe let's say 1, 2, and 3. Right now, I just set the name. Maybe pencil, pen. I'll just keep the 3 names. This is one table, this is maybe product table.
You wrote 2 pencils, that's why probably.
Okay, no, I'll correct it. Okay, so it looks like this pencil. Then you have a manufacturer ID, name and ID for both of them. The table looks like this. I'll just show you in Excel. Maybe 1 and 2. 1, 0, 1, let's put 101, let's put 1, 2. A big mix paper right here. So what the way we have is that we brought this one here, right? We got this manufacturer ID from this table to this table to make this relationship work. We said that this pencil is manufactured by the way we have right now. We added this column, right? Primary key from here, added it here next to this one. I said okay. Now I can say that this pencil is made by maybe 101 manufacturer. This pen is made by 101, and this paper made by 102. Right? That's how we have it right now. If you look at our diagram, right? This manufacturer ID is part of the product table, right? So next to product, so I have it here. I brought it here, so I can say okay. Right? This is the foreign key here, and it tells me that this product is manufactured by 101. This product is manufactured by 101. This product is manufactured by 102. Right? Make sense? Okay. If we don't have it like this, that's one way of saying it. Other way is the brother wants to do is instead of having it here, right? Why don't you do this product ID? Yeah. That work? How that work? So this company, right, is manufacturing more than one product. Manufactures pencil, manufactures pen, right? Maybe something else. So what I have to do is I have to say, okay, 101 manufactures this product 1 here. How am I going to put 2? It also manufactures this one. How am I going to put this 2 in here? Is there a place for me to put the 2 in there? Right? Usually a manufacturer manufactures more than one product, right? So I can put one product here, but how am I going to put other products that it manufactures? I can't do that. There's no way for me to. I cannot put comma like this. It doesn't work like this. It doesn't work like this. It doesn't work. Right? I cannot do this. I cannot say I put one here, make another column. Yeah, I cannot do this. I cannot have 2 columns with the same name. Right? So this way doesn't work. So when you have one too many, so one manufacturer manufactures many products, right? This is one too many. This is one manufacturer can manufacture many products. One product has only one manufacturer, right? So when you have one too many, the foreign key comes on the many side. So this is one to many relationship. One on this side and many on this side. So one to many relationship. When you have this kind of relationship, right, the foreign key comes from the many side. You don't have to know this, you'll figure it out. Or the keyway, you don't need to know this stuff. You just writing queries, but the way it doesn't work this side is because in the foreign key comes from the many side of one to many relationship. That's by design that the database works. Make sense? With 1 to 1 you can change it, you can put it here, you can put it here, doesn't matter. 1 to 1 you can change, put the foreign key in either side, it will work. 1 to many you have to put the foreign key on the many side. Any question on this one? Any other question? Makes sense, this diagram?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's say I will start with product table. Let's say what's inside it. So the simple query is what you will learn is that this query. you want to display everything. First line says display everything, all the data, everything from this table, products table. Right? So if that's the easiest query you can do, and give me everything from a table. Right? How do you do that? In SQL language, you do it like this. So this is the keyword. Normally the keywords will be in blue, highlighted. So this is the keyword select. So it's an important keyword. All the query in database starts with select. Select means you are getting something from the table. So you always have to write select first. If you want to get something from the database, write select and do other things. If you want to insert something, you want to put something in there, you would say insert. If you want to delete something, you would say delete. We'll cover those later. But for now, select means give me everything from somewhere. Star means everything. So when you say select space star, star means everything. Give me everything. What? Give me everything from where? Another keyword from. Right? From where do I get everything from? From this space, from this table. So you can, whatever the table name, you write the table name, whatever the name is. In our case, products. If you have a database, some database, you figure out the name of the table and you write that here. So the syntax means is grammar or how you write it. Right? Is you start with select, right? Then space, then star. Star means everything. Space from where? From this table. And you put a semicolon at the end to mark that this is the end of the statement. So now I have a SQL statement. If I execute it, give me this result here. This result tells me it has 16 rows here. If I scroll down, I'll see 16 rows. Right? I see their column names. Here's column name, here's another column name, here's another, here's price column, here's description column, here's manufacturer ID column. Also tells me the data in each row. Right? There's the data for this row, there's data for this row, and all the way down. Looking at the data, you can easily tell me which one is the product, which one is the foreign key or primary key. If you look closely, you can see that this is the primary key and this is the foreign key. So because data sometimes gets millions of rows, usually you need to know this from a diagram, right? Which one is the primary key or which one is the foreign key. It makes it easier to look at the diagram and figure out. If you look at data, you might think, this is a primary key, it looks like a primary key. But when you have millions of rows, you don't know what other rows has. This looks like a foreign key because it is coming from another table. You know that. But it's a simple query. Simplest query will do select space star space from space products and semicolon to mark the end of the statement. If I say product, right, gives me a red squiggly mark, under mark, says invalid product, invalid object name product. Tells me already that this name is invalid, meaning that my sales database doesn't have something called product, it has products. So it knows that this is the wrong name. So if I do query with the wrong name, the same error message. Sometimes looking at the error message gives you a hint what you might have done wrong. The invalid object name. So some name is invalid, means you typed the name wrong.
So if it put the commas, which one is wrong? The product.
Not always. Sometimes, not always. This is a simple error, so it knows which one is wrong. Sometimes when you write a big query, it's difficult to know exact where the error is. If it knows the error right now because it's the table name. Sometimes you have table name correct, but your syntax might be wrong or your something else might be wrong. So at that time it's more difficult to know, but it will still give you a hint that something is wrong on this area of the query. And your job would be to Google it, or ask someone, or read some document, figure out. Right. Or call me, right? Figure out what is wrong. So we know right now that our table is spelled incorrectly, so correct the spelling, the query again. Now I'm back to the result. So any question from this query? Simple query. The syntax is the grammar of to write this image, select star from table name. And table name is whatever you want the table name to be. It gets all the data from the name table. So it's getting everything from whatever the table name is. Star means get all columns and rows. Get all the columns, all the rows. Nothing hidden, nothing filtered out. You get everything. So we have 4 other tables. We have 3 other tables. We have
Sales,
sales,
manufacturing.
manufacturers, and samples.
Cost.
So we did this one. We have cost, we have manufacturers, and sample. Your job is to write this statement for all 3 of them. Let's see it right.
But sample is not connected.
Write the same query for other tables. So cell right there.
Right,
So,
the same
query for other tables. Well, I wrote it for products table, right? Select star from product.
Right.
So
You need to write the same query for other tables.
for the
From
cost.
cost, manufacturers, and sample. Let's practice for it. Simple query, just like this.
Select every time.
Tell me what you get. From these 3 tables. 3 query from these 3 tables. Do one by one, so you see which one you did first.